Hey guys, and welcome back to Jalen Says. And today we're with someone that's really cool. I mean, he does a lot of stuff. I mean, there's no way to explain it without saying how cool this guy is. I mean, I met him. He's a really cool dude. Does a lot of stuff. As some of you might know, he's co-owner of the Uptown Comedy Corner, and it's really cool that I'm getting to interview him today because, like me, he also hosts his show, Classic Conversations, and it's a pretty cool show. I'm gonna get into that a little late into the interview, but while we wait and get everything set up, also for the guests coming in, I'll tell you guys about this later in the interview as well when more guests are in. But a lot of new stuff is coming up. A lot of new stuff is coming up, and it's really been a jam-packed weekend and month. Really, it's really cool. Fox Theater. This is it. Miracle Barbecue, their 40-year anniversary. God Guys Place coming up Father's Day weekend. Are You My Daddy's coming up again. Wow. It's just real incredible because all these things are coming up. It's pretty cool. But yes, the guy's pretty cool. We talked. We met up how long was it? It was just like a couple months ago. He's really cool. He does his own show. He talks about real stuff. It's called Classic Conversations, and it's just about real stuff and cool things. Let me get it set up on Facebook. But yeah, also, how you guys doing? Comment down below. Yada yada. But yeah, it's been a really jam-packed weekend already, and I can't wait for the rest of the month to come up because all these incredible things are happening. I'm pretty sure there's more stuff happening as well. So guys, stay tuned for that. But on my Facebook, you guys should see that I'm going to be on the red carpet interviewing at the Fox Theater for This Is It Miracle Barbecue, their 40-year anniversary, which is pretty exciting. I just went to this just not that long ago, and you could see how far they come up until this point, which is a really cool thing to watch and see. And I'm just going to be on the red carpet, and there's going to be a lot of cool people there. I'm going to talk about it later because this interview is about my main man. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's going to be coming up real soon. And yeah, the tickets are already sold out. It's really crazy, but yeah. And also, God Guys coming up again. Everyone loved it. It was standing ovations all around, and it was just a packed full house. But I mean, yeah, there's a lot of new stuff coming up, and yes, let me just edit this on Facebook. And yeah, really cool stuff coming up. I'm gonna be interviewing Mr. Angelo Sykes, and yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool. So guys, stay tuned for that. He's co-owner of the Uptown Comedy Corner in Atlanta, and a lot of people go there. There's a lot of cool comedians there. There's a lot of cool people there. Me and my mom went there before. It was jam-packed. Like, everyone was laughing. It was just a fun place. I mean, I'm going to be going there soon. I actually, me and Mr. Angelo are going to get into this a little later, but I wanted to be there, but something happened with my dog because dogs do what dogs do, and he ate something he wasn't supposed to. And yeah, we're kind of worried about that right now, so prayers up. We're taking to the vet tomorrow, so yeah. But yeah, it's pretty eventful week because I'm starting summer as well, summer camp, and it's about film and all this cool stuff, so that's pretty exciting. And yeah, on pretty sure it's the 11th. 11th is This Is It Miracle of Barbecue 40-year anniversary. Talking about this a lot, but the tickets are already sold out. It's a pretty eventful thing. It's pretty cool. 40-year anniversary. I saw a comment saying celebrating anything that's got to 40. Anything is pretty cool, pretty exciting, and I'm glad I'm going to be there because there's a lot of cool people. Someone I interviewed before, most of you already know about him, but Mr. Griff, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be exciting. Hopefully it'll be live. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get everything set up and it's gonna be live and stuff like that. But yeah, it's pretty eventful. And here he is right now, Mr. Angelo. coming in. But yeah, this guy, it's pretty cool. He's a podcaster. He's a co-owner. He has a lot of background to get into, which is pretty cool. I mean, it's crazy how he even got to be in this situation in the first place, and it's just pretty cool. We're just gonna talk all about it. Yeah, but again, God Guys Play coming up, Miracle Barbecue 40-year anniversary coming up, Are You My Daddy Play also coming up again. So yeah, guys, stay tuned for all of that. It's gonna be pretty cool. Yes, yes, yes. All right, yeah. Thank you, guys. And hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, good, good. I can't see you at the moment. All
Yeah, I'm
right,
trying to start. There we go.
all right. Hey, how are you?
I'm good. Jalen, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing real good. So as I talked about before, you're you're a podcaster. You're a co-owner of the Uptown Comedy Corner. Really big place, really big place, and you do all these incredible things. I saw you had some military background as well, which is pretty cool. And I also heard about how you even got to be the co-owner of the Uptown Comedy Corner, which is kind of weird how you got into to do it. It was yeah. But just to start this off, who are you?
um, so I'm Angelo Sykes, owner of Uptown Comedy Corner, and I have another business. It's really my primary business, Priority One Security. I've been doing that for almost 28 years now.
Wow.
Um, yeah, it's been a long time. But I'm from Virginia, from Portsmouth, Virginia. Um, I'm the third son uh, from mom, and I have a younger sister, and that's who I am.
Wow. So to get the ball rolling, when I originally
Okay.
was looking up and I saw stuff, I saw that you're a vet and you're also you were an Army First Commander. So how's how did all that happen?
So I went to West Georgia. I played football there. I went there on a football scholarship, and you know, um, I'm 5'5". When I was in college, I was probably about 175, 180, man, and I realized after that first couple years of college that as a kid, I was like one of those kids who grew up dreaming of being an NFL player. I love football. I played it all my life. And then when you get to college, I was in high school. I was really good. I played a whole bunch. And you get to college, man, you see, there's not a whole lot of 5'5" NFL guys out there. There's not a whole lot of 5'5" college guys. So started banging with these big boys, man. I said, you know what, this NFL dream probably is not gonna happen. So I started. A good friend of mine, and he was my roommate in college for a while as well. He joined ROTC, and he told me to check it out. There's two things I said that I would never do, and this is why I never say never anymore. I always said I would never join the military, and I'd never be a police officer. I said I would never join the military because I was a military brat. Meaning I grew up in the military environment. My mom retired from the army, and so I didn't, moving all the time, traveling everywhere, and I didn't really want that life. And so I thought, but so yeah, he told me to join ROTC. Man, I checked it out, and I graduated as an officer. So when I graduated college, that same day I was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the army. The same day, so it was kind of cool.
That's wow. So so what kind of made you convince you to be in that area, and what convinced you to stay in that area?
As far as the military
Yes.
or the ROTC, well, it was a great experience, Jalen. And I encourage people this now. If especially if you're in school and you're not really sure what you're gonna do or what you want to do, it's always a great option, and I've shared that with several people growing up, and I know several guys that have went that same route, and had full careers in the army, retired. One of my buddies, he tells me all the time, he tells the story all the time. That's how he joined. But it was just a great experience. You learn so much. A lot of things I'm able to do now, and the way I think about things and see things, it was because of that military training. Because you have to make decisions on the run, on the go. You're immediately put in leadership positions. And you realize people look to you for instructions. And you can't bat an eye. You can't waver. You got to be able to give them instructions. If you want them to follow, they got to believe what you say. And so it really impacted my career currently tremendously.
Oh, all right. So what made you decide to move from ROTC to security, and what was the process between those two?
So I was I was hired by the Atlanta Police Department while I was still in college, and
Wow, two of the things you never said.
the two things I said I would never do. And
Yeah.
and it happened there. It's funny, man. They came out there on a recruiting trip, on a recruitment visit on the campus, and I just stopped by and it was talking, da 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 da, and the guy was like, "Well, at least just fill it out. You never know what happened, right?" And so I did. I filled it. I was like, well, I never do it, but I'll fill it out. so they hired me, but I never started. I went to had to go to my ROT. After I graduated from ROTC, I had to go straight to Fort Eustis, Virginia, for my training. And but the guy at APD said they would just keep my application there, and they said if you ever want to come back, we're gonna hold your folder for so long, and it'll be open folder. You've already been hired. It's open folder, so just let us know. So I was like, all right, cool. So after I did my military time, I had um, my first son was born, and I wasn't ready to be married, but I didn't want to be away from my child. You know what I mean? I didn't want to be the absentee father. So so that's when I decided, I got this APD job sitting around here. Let me call them so I can be close. I can come back here and be close to my child, and that's kind of what happened, man. I called them up. They said, "Hey, yeah, come on down whenever you're ready." So after I finished my
Wow.
military time, I came back here in this area, and so I could be close to my son. And it was the best decision I ever made. How life goes, but so yeah. So throughout my police department, when I was on the Atlanta Police Department, and I was still doing my Army Reserve stuff at the time. So I was, doing both. I had to do once a month stuff in the Army, but I was a full time Atlanta police officer, and I started meeting a lot of people within the department. A lot of artists, whatever. And so I started doing a lot of security details. I was doing a lot of security for LaFace Records and TLC and all kinds of people. And so my business partner now, guy Lee Moore, we he saw me talking to Too Short one night, the rapper Too Short. We were chopping it up about doing a job, and he said, "Man, you doing security?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Me too." So we got together, and 28 years later, we're still in business.
Uh,
He was a Atlanta police officer as well, and we're in the same zone, but we never really, we weren't really hanging out or whatever. But yeah, we ended up starting a business, and so it's still going. Yeah.
wow. So during the business, right? This is what I saw, right? You were working for the Uptown Comedy Center. I mean, Uptown Comedy Corner, sorry. And
Sure.
then the owner, by what I heard, I'm sorry, I saw this yesterday, so my memory not. But the owner said he was about to shut it down, but something happened where you just came and kind of got it back up. How? So can you tell me what happened in between that process?
So my original experience with Uptown was I was a police officer and I met Earthquake, the comedian Earthquake, and outside of a club. And he asked for some questions. So him and I were talking, and then he asked me if I would come by the club, check it out, which I did. And it's funny because I live right across the street from the club, but the club was fairly new at the time,
Yeah.
and so I went over there, and then he asked me to run the security for the club, and I was like, hey, funny you say that. I just started a security company. You know what I mean? So, and but I was doing it as a police officer. Um, so I would, you know, work there until I had to go to work. And but as the club started growing, they needed more security, need more time. So I would work it until I went to go to the club. Then I'd bring on one of my security officers to work it the rest of the night. And it was funny because the security officer I brought in was my first roommate in college. So he was my first employee. He was my first roommate in college, my first employee for the security company. Crazy story. so so I ran security for the club for years until they ended up closing. And so years later, one of the other owners had called me up. I always say, hey man, if you ever get in this club business again, give me a call. I want in. 'Cause I was just I felt the vibe. I loved the
Yeah.
comedy. I learned to love the comedy club. And I met a lot of great people there, as a police officer. And so years later, he called me up and said, "Hey, you still interested in the club?" And I was like, "Yeah, I am." And the security company was doing really well.
Uh-huh.
And so yeah, that's how we started Uptown. 18 years ago.
Wow.
It reopened on Marietta Street.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wow. So, how do you manage Uptown and your security company? Because those two are pretty big things to manage.
Yeah.
Because one of them's a
Yeah.
club, and the other is security, and that's really both of those are really big things to juggle. How do you do that?
That's a question that I get asked all the time. And they always say, "Man, when do you sleep?" And I'm like, you know, I don't know. What I mean? I just it's one of them things, Jill, I just do it. What I mean? I was talking about this yesterday, right? And somebody asked me a very similar question. And I was like, I don't complain about things because I'm doing two things that I enjoy doing. I'm not doing anything that I dislike. I enjoy the security company because it's a challenge. It's another variation of a challenge. It keeps you on your toes. You have to always think. The worst part about the security company is dealing with be honest with it, dealing with the employees, the people. They make things difficult. But the challenge of the job and the contracts and the thought processes and everything that goes into it, I mean, I still get up for it. I still um, have the challenge of making, doing a good job for the clients and things of that nature. So that plays a major role. And as far as the comedy club, it's just something I simply love. I love doing it. I mean, I've gained a great respect for comedians in the comedy world. I'm not a comedian, never tried, never want to be. But the backstage of it, the back office of it, we always say we should record the things that go on in the office, and the things that happen backstage. Because sometimes it's the funniest, it's the funniest stuff in the world. So yeah, that's why I do it, man. Because I have two things that I enjoy doing. I don't dislike it at all. Is it time consuming? 110% time consuming. Do I miss a lot of sleep? 110%. I miss a lot of sleep. You know, but would I trade it in for clocking in at 9 to 5? Absolutely not. Yeah. So that's how I do it. I just like the Nike slogan, man. You just do it. I just do
All
it.
right. All right. Wow. So after being in the comedy club business for so long, have you found yourself like whenever a good joke appears, have you found yourself getting better at like taking that moment and stuff like that?
Yeah, my timing is much better. you know, you know, yeah, when you be around comedians so long, man, a couple things you gotta have. You gotta have tough skin because just because you're the owner don't mean they won't get on you. You know what I mean? I get the jokes too. So it's but yeah, you get great time, and you start learning how to laugh at things. You learn how to laugh at life. You learn how to laugh at a lot of things that could cause you stress if you didn't laugh at it. So but yeah, but you definitely get good time, and you definitely get it keeps your sense of humor and your wit on top of your game, because if not, they'll wear you out in there.
Yeah, I have some times where I'm just like, someone's like joshing back at me, I'm getting back at them, and they say something, I'm like, dang. And then like a week later, I just think of it, and I'm like, I could have just said that.
Yeah. You hang in the comedy club long enough, man. You'll get those a lot faster. You'll know how to snap a
Yeah,
little quicker.
yeah, wow, wow. But what was your most eventful thing that ever happened that you could share that happened with you having a security company?
Say that last part. We froze up a little bit, so I missed the beginning of the question.
What is the most eventful thing that happened with you being the owner of a security company? What was the most eventful thing you saw?
Uh, I tell you what. When you say most eventful, that I have so many stories for the security company. Um, so it's hard to pin one down. One of the craziest stories is we used to have a high rise, and not to make this a bummer type conversation, but I just still can't believe to this day. We had this 80, I think she was an 85-year-old woman shooting killers 78, 79-year-old boyfriend in a high rise. And it was
Wow.
like mind boggling only because it's like, man, even at that age, they still get, you, know, you don't expect them at that age to still be that upset about something, and it was boyfriend, girlfriend type stuff. I was like, man, at 85 years old, give me a break. you know, you should be
Well,
worried about that at this point of your life. But yeah, man, I have a lot of stories that, and I don't know if any, the I'm trying to think of one to be good for this show. you know,
yeah.
because some of the things that happen are just, you know, I tell you one thing that's amazing is that I've never had an officer yet um, actually admit that they were asleep when they were caught asleep at work. You know, all of them were just resting their eyes. What I mean? Everybody they would I was just resting my eyes, or you know,
Man.
I was just laying down, getting my had a headache. I was praying. I've
Yeah,
never
man. I
yet.
was, I was just, I was just expecting the dirt on the floor. I didn't know what that was, man. It looked kind of suspicious. It looked
That's
kind
right.
of suspicious, man. I don't know what was going on.
That's correct. All those, man. you know, and my security company, tell you nothing, something that was pretty significant is that after 911 happened, all the airports started having what they call code orange, and we were the first security company that actually had to do a code orange because we had the airport contract at the time. Not during 911, but shortly after, when all the hoopla was over with, they started amping up all the security at the airports, and we were the first ones to get the contract after all that stuff happened. And so we had the first what they call code orange. So that was very unique experience because I was in there, um, and I'm fairly young at that time, and that's probably what 20 years ago now. I'm in there with all these chiefs and all these political figures, all these big wigs at the airport at this big airport meeting, and we talk about this code orange and all this stuff. Man, it was just a real weird experience, but we had to set the perimeter for the very first code orange, after 911, and we were doing inspecting all the vehicles. It was a very amped up time that but we grew a lot from there. I had a lot of experience from that. But it was definitely one of the more memorable moments of the security experience.
That's, wow, but that was history as well. So,
Yeah, yeah, it was. It really was. But we did
so
a lot of security, man. We did all the major, what they call the projects in Atlanta. We provided security for them. We had out of the Atlanta Housing Authority's portfolio, we probably had like 85% of the entire security portfolio. We were all over the place. It was a wild time.
wow. So, what is your favorite part of having a security company, and what is your favorite part of owning the comedy corner?
The favorite part of the security company again is similar to what I said earlier in terms of just the overall challenge, the challenges of it. You know, um, you know, I started security company off doing artists, doing entertainers, um, but I learned very quickly that that side of the business is not as consistent because when the artist is hot, it's a lot of business. When the artist is not hot or they're not touring, not doing, what I mean, it's kind of slows down. So once we started getting to the actual guard side of the house, it became a lot more of an overall experience, and you're a lot busier and things of that nature. Um, but the best part about it is I think, is just the fact that I have something that I again love to do that I don't have to, you know, clock in somewhere.
Uh,
And the comedy club is similar, but um, the comedy club is they're two totally different businesses. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's like the comedy club is it's a fun environment. It's you have to be more. It's more people. Related. You're always talking with different people, and having to book all these shows, and and um, meeting and greeting people that you see on TV, that you see in the movies. What I mean, and you're hanging out with them in the office or in the green room, and it's a really cool experience. To get to see. I've been able to meet a lot of great people. you know, um, you're a young guy, but if you know and hear of or learn of Dick Gregory, to meet somebody with such a historic mind and a legend in the business, not just the comedy business, but the political realm and the world in general, and then meeting somebody like John Witherspoon, who was not just hilariously funny, his pops from the Friday series, but a genuine person, I mean, to just sit in the room with him and he just would talk, you don't even realize, man, you just sitting there having a conversation with some of these people, Paul Mooney's, and the list just goes on and on and on, of people that you get to meet and just have genuine conversations with, and some of them generate friendships with, and to have my kids be able to go around and hang out with Kevin Hart, and and all these all these guys, what I mean, and I can take them with me, and they got to hang out with Mike Epps, and there's so many different people, all those experiences are really really cool, they're really really cool, and I've enjoyed them. I've been able to be able to share it with the family and friends as well.
wow. And you're talking about just normal conversations, which is what classic conversations is about. So segue into that one. So what made you
Nice,
want to?
very nice segue.
Yeah. So what made you want to start classic conversations?
So, to know me now, people who've met me over the last few years, you'd be surprised at the person that you see right now, because I was, for the comedy club, for the first probably 5 years of the comedy club, I was always in the background. I was never the one out front, and I was cool with that. I've learned to lay my ego down many many years ago, and so I was never the guy that wanted to be out front of it. I was always cool with I'll leave him back there. I just want to make sure everything's all I's are dotted, all T's are crossed, and I'm good. You know. Um, but as things developed, and as an owner, and then a black owner in a business that's dominated, you know, by non-black folks, and you fight through a lot of issues, you know, and you fight through a lot of challenges, and a lot of people started coming to me and said, Angelo, you need to let people know who you are. You need to be more out front. You need to let them know it's really a black owned business, and let them know some of the challenges that a black owned business faces in a white owned dominated industry with black comedians, which is very ironic but true. Um, so that's when I started. I was reluctant, Jalen. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was very, very reluctant because again, I never had the need to be out front. I it was never a big deal for me. But a lot of people with who not just wanted me to do it, but they cared about the business. They cared about what I was doing, and they wanted to see the club succeed. They wanted to see us win, and they were just saying, "Hey, this is what we see that you should do." And so I started popping out a little bit more. I started
Wow.
popping out a little bit more, and so a good friend of mine, JT, he had been talking about doing a podcast for a while, and we were talking about doing a sports podcast actually, and Bo Peep and Will, a couple of guys from the studio, we had a spot at their other club that they asked me to build out a studio, and so and when we built the studio out for DC Curry, was the real reason we built the studio out was to do a podcast for DC Curry, and so when I told JT about it, and I was like, "Hey, you still interested in a podcast? We got a space." And him and I talked, and then he was like, "Man, we talked about instead of sports, I think we should go this route." And I was like, "Okay, well that's
Why
cool."
not?
And so Classic Conversation was born. We went from instead of just talking about sports to talk about real things that's going on. And the classic conversations came from JT's always called himself the classic man. And they always spelled it with a K. So
Yeah.
so that's what classic conversations came from. Everybody said, "Man, y'all, somebody a Kappa?" I was like, "No, no Kappas in here." Just, but yeah, that's how it started, man. It's just and so because I was starting to break out more and be more visual, I was like, "Well,
Yeah.
there's another platform to." And I never would have thought that it would have grown to where it's grown. I never would have thought I would enjoyed it the way I have enjoyed it, and the impact that I think we've been making with people and how people call and say, are impressed by some of the conversations we have. Um, it's been kind of enjoyable.
That's pretty. So, how long ago was this again?
About 2 years now. Yeah,
Wow.
we started about 2 years ago. Like I said, we started over at the old club. We had a little studio in there, and but it's grown tremendously. The conversations have gotten better. The people have gotten better. The dynamics of the show have gotten better. It's been about 2 years now.
Wow. That's pretty cool. And with guests and stuff, my mom just a little bit ago, a couple months now, has been on the show, and you guys talked about all this stuff about celebrity
Yeah,
actors, people like
yeah.
that, just normal stuff. So, how does it feel being able to do this now that you kind of gotten used to it? How does it feel to be able to just get on, talk to people about just random stuff, just normal people stuff?
It's been really really cool, um, for so many reasons. Like you have um, a lot of people who don't know or tap into certain aspects of the world. Some people aren't very political. Some people aren't very media. Some people aren't very social. Everybody has their own niches, And so what we try to do is tap into all those different things, and there's some subjects that I know well, and then there's some subjects that I just get to sit back and learn. We've had some people come in there and talk about history, um, Black history, people who are really deep into the political world, people, just been, counseling and special needs and, just so many different things that we've tapped into. And it just made it very, very enjoyable. And like I said, sometimes JT and I, we know, hey, this show we're going to class. We're coming to learn something from other people. And when as a person, when you can, you should always know your strengths and weaknesses. You should always be able to accept things and always want to be able to learn. And I love to learn. I love to. If you can tell me something I didn't know, hey man, I'm all for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I enjoy it, and that's what makes the show so much fun. Is you get so many different people's perspective on things, you know, so that you don't be in a tube just on blinded by your own perspective of everything in life. You know what I mean? To get other people's perspectives, and sometimes you're even able to not necessarily change somebody's mind, but just give them something to think about. You
Yeah.
know, there's some people who are just stubborn, they're stuck in their own ways, but we've seen people sit back and be like, and that's all you want. You want to give them something else to think about. Outside of your own tunnel vision.
Yeah. I heard a quote that said, "There's no such thing as stupidity, just ignorance, because you don't know about it."
Mm, I believe that. I believe that,
And
and
I
it's
don't know
okay
about
to.
those. I don't know about
Huh?
those trophies in the back though. Are they yours? They look kind of shiny. They look really
And
shiny.
listen, those are just a small corner. I got a whole
Oh,
room in there. I had to take them down because
oh,
of some construction work I had to get done back here. But yeah, I coached for a long time, and majority of the trophies are trophies from me coaching the various sports and the various kids. And then I played flag football for a long time, and I coached flag football for a long time, and currently, as well as my kids baseball and football. So that's if the bar was set up right, you see a whole row of trophies back there. But I had to take them down recently because they had to do some construction work back there. But yeah, I got a gang of them, man. I got World Series, I got a couple Super Bowls that I've coached in. I got a bunch, man. So I used to
like
I used to live at the park.
we've been talking for like almost 40 minutes now, and I feel like I haven't even chipped the iceberg of your life, man. Wow. So, what brought you into coaching?
My kids,
Uh,
the kids, man, they were I never pushed anything on them, but if they wanted to do it, I wanted to make sure they got coached the right way. And um, like for baseball, I started off. Most of them started 3 or 4 years old, t-ball, and then my oldest two sons just really loved it and adapted really well to it. And I started coaching my middle son, Alec, like I said, 3 or 4 years old, and he was such a natural athlete. Um, at 4 or 5 years old, he was able to throw a baseball from third to first base on a line. And I was like, man, this kid is special. And so I started. Um, I coached Aspen's team first, my oldest, and then I coached Alec. But then I kind of Aspen had to go up another age, and so I kind of gravitated to Alec's team, and I coached that team, man, from 4 years old all the way through 12 years old,
wow.
and I had a lot of great kids come out of there, and it was kind of bittersweet this year because this year was the last. All of them officially graduated high school.
Wow.
My whole crew that I started from 3 and 4 years old are all now high school graduates. But
Wow.
in the middle of that time, we won 2 World Series. We won probably like 3 state championships. I can't tell you the number. We won enough trophies, Jalen, that I gave all of my coaches a trophy and or a plaque throughout the time. And so all of them have at least 2 or 3 trophies themselves. So if you look at my trophy things that I got in this other room over here, you'd be like, and you share it 2 or 3 with other coaches. It's like we had a really good team we put together, and it was a lot of fun. And then I had a football team similar to that I coached for years, and we won. They ended their rec careers with back-to-back Super Bowl championships. So yeah, I did a lot of coaching, man. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I miss it a lot. I don't know how now you're talking about not sleeping. I don't know how I did that because I still was doing the club, I still doing the security company, and I stayed at the field. So now that part I don't know how I did.
Sleep. I don't remember when I slept. I know I did it like in the past month or so, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Wow. Wow, that's wow. So,
Yeah.
do you ever like miss stuff that you used to do? Like sometimes, I guess, being out there, being a security guard, or um. Well, I know you miss coaching, but like, do you ever like miss some things that you did before that you might think of picking back up, or just like, man, that was pretty cool.
I know the connections acting up again. The only thing I kind of missed. And I was talking about it yesterday with some of my fraternity brothers. I do miss riding my motorcycle. I didn't realize till yesterday that it'd been years since I rode my motorcycle. I mean, I used to ride all the time, but
Wow, you still have it?
time just. I still have one of them. I used to have two. I used to have what they call a crotch rocket, a little speed bike. I sold that one. I'm a little too old. I don't need to be on that anymore. Then I got a cruiser. I got my cruiser. It's sitting in the back. Excuse me, sitting in the backyard. But I haven't rode it in years. I haven't rode it in years, and it's really good time. I spend a lot of time. I'm either dealing with the club, with security, or I'm chilling with the kids, man. I mean, that's pretty much. I don't do a whole lot of other stuff. I don't club anymore. I don't. I'm real. I'm either doing one of those things, man. That's kind of my life now, and I'm cool with it because so much drama out there. I don't need to be in the middle of that mess anyway. But that's why I can't think of much more that I miss. Outside of getting to ride a bike because I still try to spend a lot of time with my kids. I mean, um, they've all grown. I got 21, one's about to be 19, and 15-year-old man. So they're not. I call them my kids, but I got big boys now.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, wow. So, what do you normally like doing with your kids?
Well, now it's you know more video games with these guys. That's what they're into. They're all still on their computers. My 19-year-old learned how to build computers. I guess when he was 15, um, and so he literally built all their computers. You know, it was kind of fascinating. He came down to me one day with just a paper with a bunch of parts on there, just the pieces, and I'm like, "What is this?" Those are all things I need to build my computer. I said, "You gonna really build this computer?" And I mean, he had everything broken down, And I tell my kids all the time, if you want to get something out of me, make it make sense. If you can explain it correctly, what I mean, then we'll go for it. And when he was able to bring me the sheets with everything broken down and what everything was gonna cost, and hey, I was sold. What I mean, you took the time to do that kind of research. You put, and he built all their computers, and so he still, and he likes to challenge me. And I used to be really, really good at video games. I mean, I used to be
Oh,
really, really good. But
really?
time, yeah,
Now
I
they
used to be
got
really
all
good.
these new. Now you have to use like a full keyboard now to just do one
Yeah,
thing.
right.
Like,
Yeah, yeah.
where's the controller, man?
Right, exactly right, man. Well, back in the Madden when Madden first came out and 2K and all that stuff, I used to play that stuff. Especially in college and all, man. We were either playing video games or playing spades. So, but as time goes and you get busier and busier with life. You don't get to play as much.
You
And
just
so, but
then you just get back to seeing it, and it's like, huh?
yeah,
Why does this guy's face look like real? Like before it was
hey,
blocky.
it's crazy. There's been several times that I've come upstairs and looked on the screen and be like, and I take a double take, like, is there a game on today? Because it
Like,
looks it looks so real.
like you're
That's the
like,
truth.
oh yeah, you're watching some TV. Wait, what?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, it's wild. It's really wild.
When you talk about computers, my mind just went like, because my mom, because I really wanted to get a computer, and then I heard that you could build one, and I was like, wow. And then my mom was like, all right, give me everything like how you did, like make it make sense, give me everything. And
Right.
now that I built it, I have a problem with dropping my phone, and I'm not gonna give you a count because it's kind of embarrassing how many times I needed to get my phone repaired. But this last time, my mom was like, "Hey, you built a computer. Why don't you just fix the phone yourself?" And I'm like,
Mm.
yeah. Now I'm kind of afraid to ask my mom to get me like a game system now. Cause I'm like, "Hey, mom, can I get the Nintendo Switch?" I mean, you could just build that yourself, can't you?
That's
Hey, mom, I,
hilarious.
I need a new like laptop for TV, my laptop for school. I was like, man, you could just build that at home.
Just build it.
Yeah.
That's classic. Yeah. Listen, I'm with you on the dropping the phone part, so I couldn't even judge you, man, because my phone, if I didn't have a case on it, oh man, I'd get a new phone every week. It's bad. I'm terrible with dropping it, man. I am. Yeah,
I
I got one right now. I broke through the cracks. Now they got a little screen glass protector, whatever. I'm starting to break through the protector. It's dropped so much.
I used to have a phone. I was like, man, this glass protector is getting so chipped. I wonder why that's happening. Maybe I should just take it off.
Right,
I can't even see the phone anymore. I'm telling you, not even like a day later, I dropped the phone. No
right.
glass protector
Hey,
on it
man.
anymore.
Hey, I'm guilty. I can't even judge, buddy. Yeah.
But I wanted to like find a way to segue into this clip, but my mom showed me a clip of you really like old school rap and stuff like that. And
Well, excuse me. Take a few minutes to mellow out. Big Daddy Kane's on the mic, and I'ma tell about a minimum length, a rhyme of strength and power. So listen to the man of the hour.
And go to a slow tempo, sing ho, swing low, then yo, the show will go on.
Yes,
so are
sir.
you like really into like old school rap?
I am, man. I love old school rap. Like in my cars, all of them. I have Sirius Satellite, and the station I listen to 90% of the time is LL Cool J's Rock the Bells radio. It's just all old school hip hop, man. I love it. I mean, I some of this new stuff is okay, but I like lyrics. I like people saying something. You know what I mean? That doesn't involve anybody getting killed. So yeah, I'm. And how that started is funny because when we do the mic checks back in the when we first started the show, everybody doing their regular mic check 1 2 1 2, and I would just start doing the old school rap. And so that's how I did my mic check. And so the young lady now we have helping produce the show, she's like, we need to start. That's how you need to just we start recording that. I mean, that's great. You just do a new rap every week. Cause I was doing a new rap every week. I was already doing it. What I mean, just for fun. And she started recording it, and so then I did make it a little part of the show. So it's kind of cool. But yeah, I love old school rap, man. I love it.
So who's your favorite artist?
um, so for rap wise, LL Cool J is my favorite. He's what I consider my goat. I've been an LL fan, man, since he first came out. When I was shucks, I heard him back in the day when um can't remember the name of the movie. Crush Groove first came out, and I was living in Dallas, Texas at the time, and I heard my radio, and I was like, hey, that guy, and I followed his whole career from there. But so yeah, he's probably my favorite. I'm a Tupac fan, and I like Biggie, I like Ice Cube, I like a lot of them. Eric B. and Rakim, you know, what I mean, that's the list goes on and on, man. I just love old school hip hop. you know, it's what I came up in. I just always can vibe with it.
All right. Is there anyone from like new school that you could also vibe with, or is it?
You know, I don't know if some of these guys like a J Cole, I don't know what his genre is considered. I don't know that is he singer, is he rap? I'm not really sure because his vibe is so. I love the vibe. Some of the Drake stuff I like. Um, you know, I do like a couple of songs like I always get the Baby and Lil Baby confused, but Lil Baby has one song that I like a lot. I don't remember the name of it, but um, there's a few of them I like. There's a few of them I like. If they have a nice beat to it and they're just rapping about cool stuff, I'm with. You know what I mean? I just don't like all the derogatory and or killing songs. I just can't get into that. You know what I mean? Can somebody survive in one of these songs, please? you know.
It's just like you hear this like cool beat, like literally like, oh man, this is my new jam, man. This is my new jam. Oh, CeeLo, I shot him.
Right. yeah, man. Yeah, man. Can we survive in some of these songs? You know what I mean? So I hate that part. I really do. I really do. I talk about this all the time. We've had this conversation on Class Conversation several times about how I think hip hop, this new age, affects our youth. And so I'm really concerned about it. I really am. And I think it has a very negative influence. So I'm gonna always big up the old school because it's very, very few people got killed on those songs. you know what I mean?
Maybe one or two a decade, not 50,
right.
60.
right. Yeah. I guess until NWA came out and all them guys with the gangster rap, that's when I think it first started, going that route. But it's never been as bad as it is now. These guys are actually doing stuff and telling about it on the rap. I mean, I don't get it.
Have you heard of J-pop and stuff like that? K-pop, J-pop?
J-pop?
Yes.
No. That's a rapper?
Yeah. Oh, no, it's not a rapper. It's a genre, like Japanese pop, Korean pop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
my now that you mentioned that, yeah, my youngest son is into that kind of stuff. Yeah, I've heard of that through him. Now that you mentioned that, yeah, he likes a lot of I don't know what's the phrase, eccentric. Is that what's it called? When just kind of like different types of music, whatever it is.
yeah.
He likes a lot of different kinds.
Yeah, me too. I sometimes like my days. I'm like country, rap, J-pop, love, country again. It's just like depends on the day.
Depends on the day. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong.
Sometimes
with that.
they
That's
just
cool.
Yeah. So, what if you had like? I keep asking this question, but what if you had like a day to yourself, like to do anything really,
Mm-hmm.
and budget is also how much you'd spend to do anything like as a vacation or anything for a day? What would you do?
For one day.
One day, full one day, no sleep required.
It would probably involve. So, like, I love the beach, right?
Yeah.
But I don't have to go to the water. It would be involved with somewhere by a beach where I can just open my patio door and just hear the waves. I never have to go out there. you know what I mean? I can just sit out there on the patio, watch the water, listen to the waves, smoke a nice cigar. Man, I'm good, Jalen. When I say I'm good, I'm good. I do that all day. I'm good. I don't need nothing else. I love it. If it's just one day, I like to travel here and there. I like to see different things. But right now, my traveling experiences are really not for me. It's more so for my kids. I want them to be able to see different things before they get too old and grown and out the house. Um, but yeah, if it's just for me, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, chill out, listen to the waves, maybe watch a football game. Just
Oh man, if there's a football game, that's even better. If they can put that TV right outside my patio, the deck, and I don't have to leave, and I can have my speaker right beside me with some old school hip hop.
ah,
Man, that's a beautiful day, brother.
all right, all right. Well, all right. I have one very important question, right?
Okay,
This question I haven't asked in a real long time, right? That's how important this question is.
okay.
Are you ready for this specific
I'm,
question?
I'm I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right, all right, all right. But before that question, I got another question for you. All right. So,
Okay.
what
Okay.
do you cook? Do you have like favorite food stuff like that?
I don't do a whole lot of cooking. Yeah, I don't do a whole lot of cooking. I cook very very little. You know, if I cook, then nobody was here. I'm just but I can cook breakfast. I cook a mean breakfast. I can cook
All
scrambled eggs
right,
and pancakes really well. Yeah,
all right, all
because
right.
I can eat breakfast food day or night. I don't I can eat breakfast food any time of day or night. But
Yeah, breakfast food is the
yeah, I
most
don't.
important meal of the day. So why not have it
Yeah,
three
yeah,
times?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Why not? Why not? I
So,
love a good pancake, the griddle pancake, man. And I love it.
all right. What is your favorite food?
I think we buffered again. You said
All
what
right.
favorite food?
Yes.
Hmm.
Our choice.
I tell you because I'm have to go. I'm have to be honest, right? And I'm gonna have to go with what my weaknesses are for my favorite food. I have two really bad weaknesses.
Ooh.
I love French fries and I
Mm.
love
What
pepperoni
type?
pizza. What type of French fry?
Yes.
My favorite are the original cut to right off the potato. If they're originally cut, I get some those French fries with some, and I can just put my own little ketchup and hot sauce and just dip it. Oh
Uh,
man, oh man, that's French fry heaven.
what's your opinion on
Those are
sweet potato French fries?
I like those, but they're not my favorite is like what's that place? Five Guys. They still very few places cut from the right straight from the potato. Those fries to me are the absolute best. Outside of those, I like the thin fries. Those are my next favorite, but they get cold so fast. You gotta eat them right away.
Yeah.
And pepperoni pizza, man,
Ooh.
I don't know what it is about it, man, but I love it. And I
What's
mean,
your
I love it.
What's your favorite place to go? Is it like a private place? Well, not private, but like a company, or is it just like a neighborhood market type?
Right now, and it's been that way for years. Nancy's Pizza is my absolute favorite pizza. I mean, Nancy's Pizza make those little square pepperonis, and it's delicious. I mean, they're the most expensive, but it's the
Mm.
best one by far. I met one of the owners there years ago, and he took me around the back and showed me how they marinate the sauce. Man, they do a great job. But that's my favorite by far. It's not
All
even
right,
close.
all right, all right. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So, what do you want to leave to the world?
Mm, interesting question.
Mm.
Um, you know, when you say leave to the world, you mean in terms of legacy? You mean in terms of, um, because what I want to leave is, um, number one, I want to ensure that um, my kids are a reflection, right? And I say that to say that I want them to be such great, productive people of this world, and um, and to feel like they had that the impact of their dad played a role in that. You know, I literally live, and I mean this in all sincerity, is that all the stuff that I do for them. You know, if it's me, I can do anything. I don't need a whole bunch, but I really just I love them guys, and I tell them all the time. I mean, I won't leave this house not a single day without going to each individual room and let them know how much I love them. You know what I mean? So, so that would be what I want to leave is that that legacy of my kids, and that they can, and that, and I tell them all the time, they're already smarter than I am. Their knowledge, the knowledge they have this day and time is so much more advanced than our age. Um, and they're such intelligent guys, man, and they are, all are super straight A students, and they all have do so well, and I'm just so freaking proud of them, and that's all I want, man. I mean, I could leave here happy knowing that I led and guided them the right way, and that they go out and do things the right way, and that would I couldn't think of a better legacy than that.
Right. Oh, wow. Yeah, man. But actually, our time has come to an end. But before that,
Okay.
can you tell the audience where they could find you and where they could follow you, where they could see Classic Conversations, where they could see the Uptown Comedy Corner, where they could hire
So
you?
I Uptown Comedy Corner ATL is our IG. Uptown Comedy Corner is our Facebook. UptownComedy.net is the website. UptownComedy.net, the website has all our shows, all our upcoming shows. You go to tickets up top, it breaks down everything for you. And I'm there. You want to follow me, follow Uptown, because I'm right there. You know what I mean? I put everything on those pages. Um, I don't even know what my personal ID is, but it's connected somehow. but yeah, but Uptown is where my focus is, and where we have stuff going on.
All right. All right. Well, thank you. But before we get off, there's this
Yes,
very
sir.
important question. I gotta ask you, right? Really important.
Okay.
You ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right. You better be, man. What is your favorite color?
Blue. Blue.
That's a nice favorite color. All right. All right. Any specific reason, or it's just blue?
Um, Number one, I'm a Sigma man, and a Sigma man is blue and white. But blue, and it's crazy because blue's been my favorite color, most of my life. Blue and yellow have always been the colors that always catch my eye, you know. So yeah, blue is definitely my favorite color.
All right. All right. Oh man, thank you for coming on. Thank you so much.
Hey, Jalen, thank you, man. Thank you. I follow you. I watch your interviews. I'm very, very proud of you, man. One day you're gonna meet my youngest son, Ace. He's 15, and I think you remind me so much of him, and I think you guys get along really well. You're both super intelligent, and continue to keep doing your thing, man. I'm very, very proud of you.
Wow, thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely,
It means a lot.
absolutely.
Yes. Well, I'll
Thank
keep
you for this,
it.
man. I enjoyed it.
Yes.
Take care.
Yes.
Say
We'll
mama
call
say
you.
hello.
All
Okay.
right.
All right. Bye.
Bye. And thank you to the wonderful audience out there in the audience. By the way, guys, coming up the 11th, I'm going to be interviewing on the red carpet for This Is It. It's 40th anniversary. This is it. Miracle of Barbecue 40th year anniversary. It's going to be at the Fox Theater. It's pretty cool. It's a lot of stuff is actually coming up because God Guys play. Everyone liked it when they saw it. It was basically standing ovations all around. It was pretty. Had a beautiful message behind it. I really loved. It was just amazing. That's what I'm trying to say. And it's coming up on Father's Day weekend. And yeah, you could see a lot of information on my Jalen Says TV Facebook. And yes, Are You My Daddy play is coming up as well, which is a pretty nice play as well. We did it like a couple months ago, I'm pretty sure. It's coming up real soon, real soon. So guys, yeah, stay tuned for all of that. Miracle Barbecue coming up. We're working on it. It might be a live feed, so you might be able to see everything live and stuff like that. But yeah, it's coming up. You'll see a lot of stuff on my Facebook. Might see some stuff on my YouTube. And yeah, just thank you guys a lot. And if you haven't already, subscribe, like, share. It means a lot. And I mean, we're at like we're it's really cool how far you guys got us, because we're at over 550 subscribers, which is pretty incredible. So thank you guys. Thank you just all for all the support. Thank you for everything you've done to help us along the way. And guys, stay tuned. Peace.